People are always asking me, and I mean always, in my comments and in my DMs, should I put a Soulstone into X hero or Y hero or Z hero? People are always asking me, full stop, should I do this, should I do that, should I do the other? I have to answer on an individual basis. I figure let's just make a video and let me take you through exactly all the heroes in the game that I would put a Legendary Soulstone into. How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. This is going to be a guide and overview, all my thoughts on Legendary Soulstones and where to use them. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Awakening recommendations, I'll tell you everyone that I would ever awaken. Let's just go by faction. Definitely, if you have a Leia, A1 Leia is incredible. A2, for me, not really worth it, at least not with the way Watch Guard is now. This one is fun, but for me, none of this is worth it, right? It's all fun. This is excellent, the A5, but that's not happening. The A1 for Leia is brilliant. Here, literally no one else. Nobody. I know people ask me about Alistair's A1. People ask me about Lucius's A3. They're normal heroes. They'll come in time. I know Alistair's ancient exclusive, but that A1, and it's very, 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 it'd be a very specific, rare circumstance in which, it'd be a very rare circumstance in which him landing Radiant Erosion will be the difference. If you want to compete for like very high in, if you want in Arbiter Frost and you have Praetus and you want to run a team around Alistair and Praetus, then the A1's kind of amazing, but is that going to be worth it for almost all content? No. Guild Boss 2 is the difference between you taking something down and not going to be this. Theoretically, it could be, but I bet you should just farm for some more gear and save that Soulstone for someone else. So for Alistair, I'm going to say no to everybody, and everybody else here is a no. That's all the Watch Guards. North Throne, literally no one. I know people might ask, and they do ask me about Ardia. For me, these are not game-changing. Ardia has sky-high attack. The Circular Blades are common, but a defense break of only 10% is not worth it, especially when she has such sky-high attack. If she's there already placing the defense break, she's already can main DPS the whole thing for you. It's not like her applying the defense break is going to enable some other heroes that were stuck behind a defense wall. For me, it is not worth it. People ask about her A3. During Frenzy State, killing an enemy increases the duration of that state by 1 second, up to 10 seconds. It's so niche. Content like that really doesn't exist. The only thing right now would be like Conqueror, maybe Geared 1. It's super not worth it. And then the A5, after releasing this, she immediately gains 15 rage. This is insane. It really is insane, but I mean, in what world? I guess if you're the kind of person that already has an A4 Ardia, maybe you could toss a stone. I really just wouldn't. Let's keep going. We're going to go. People are already asking me about Praetus. We're going in order, guys. No one else here. For Nightmare, really, there's nothing here that I'm interested in really at all. The only thing I would talk about is if you went nuts for Lust and if you got her A4, it's worth it getting that A5. It's crazy. See, that is something that truly is crazy. There's nothing else here for you except maybe Torador. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. But if you had an A1 Torador, the A1's nothing. Honestly, it's just going to help his damage. Who cares? But if you could snag the A2, it's fun. You don't need it. So that would literally just be if you had an A4 Lust and you could bring her to A5, or you had an A3 Lust, bring her to A5. And because that is something you can control. It's not like you're going to be pulling a dupe Lust ever again. You can control not to just skip those banners. Cursed Cult, it's going to be nobody, honestly. There's stuff that might intrigue you. People think Virna's A1's good. It's not as good as you think. Artemis's A1 is stupid strong, but at the end of the day, he's a normal hero. We got 2 exclusives over here, limited. It still wouldn't do it. Not going to move the needle enough. You could say I have an A4 Carnelian, and if this gets sorted, the A5's broken. If you're the kind of person with an A4 Carnelian, it's not so game-changing. It's not like Lust, as powerful as it is, and I think it's very unlikely you won't pull another one if you've already pulled her to A4. That's basically going to be it. You might think Demi. Demi gets it all done at A1. This is nothing. Who cares about an HP restore? This increased the AoE faction damage by 5%. I mean, come on. Crit damage for herself by 15%. This is all fine. Extra damage to targets. She already does plenty damage, and very, very unlikely you're going to main DPS her, especially if you've already got her A2. It means you probably have a pretty full account. And then this is like fun, but like it's not a game-breaking A5. You're not building up to it. We don't care. If we go to Infernal Blast now, these are no doubters. If you get a Soul Cadence, bring him A1. If you don't have Soul Cadence and you get a Twin Fiend, bring him A1. These A1s are stupid, stupid powerful. I would not get anything else for Twin Fiend. I don't care about increased crit damage. I do not care about the Rage Regen. As cool as it is, we don't care. You're probably going to build him with Rage Regen anyway. So if you don't have Soul Cadence, Twin Fiend to A1. That's what I did. The only Soulstone I've ever spent. If you do have Soul Cadence, never do anything with Twin Fiend. Soul Cadence is currently better than Twin Fiend in every piece of content. Get that A1. Quite frankly, if you had him and you could, the A3 is insane. A 7x boost on, how do you call it? 7 stacks of 5%, 35% boost. He can keep burning, especially the comps you're running him in. We'll have crazy uptime on burning. And then the A5, when the talent damage increase effects maxes out, each basic attack launched extends the duration of all burning on the target. This can be super duper strong because easily against bosses you can max out the talent damage stacks. However, I don't know if it's going to move the needle. If anyone's played with it, let me know. For me, the thing with Soul Cadence that's most exciting is the A3. I'll get the A1. I probably wouldn't touch it again unless you're sitting on a huge pile. Then you've got the A2 here. If you pick up another copy, then I would A3 it. So that's a rare hero where I'm all for it, kind of. Nothing else here. Nothing. Star Piercers, Aracha, no way, don't care. Any of these normals, as good as some of them are, Silas Hex, there's no way. I'm sorry, it will not move the needle the way you think it's going to move. The only exception I could ever think of would be if you have Hex and his exclusive and you don't have someone else to do crazy amount of consistent single target damage, especially magic. The Fool, the chance to draw the Fool, which they don't tell us, this is crazy, 500% damage 3 times with a slow and a burn for 5 seconds. This is so powerful, but without his exclusive, it is inconsistent. With his exclusive, it is wild. It is just so good. So that would be the very rare circumstance. Personally, I still would not, but that is one I want to speak to. Yovar, I think, deserves Soulstones. I think his A1 is awesome. The A2 is very good. I wouldn't Soulstone up to it. The A3, again, is excellent. I don't know if I would Soulstone up to this, but the extra 5 seconds is extremely significant. And then the A5, the immediate 12 swords, sounds good, but it's only on the initial deploy. Not interested. The A1 and the A3 are very exciting, particularly the A1 if you're going to use them against bosses for spam content. This is powerful because you're never going to get to full swords, so those extra four swords are significant every single time. Very, very, very strong. If we can continue on, that's basically it for the piercers. Let's continue on here. Esoteric order, believe it or not, I'm probably just going to say nobody, honestly. There's some amazing awakenings here. I mean, Eloin is brilliant, but you don't really need him. Kind of goes true. I mean, Boreas, his A5, I just got it. It's incredible. But again, you don't need it, especially if you're the kind of person with an A4 Boreas. Was the A5 fun for me? Yes. Could I just have stuck with my A3 Comet and all the other crazy stuff I had? Like, I have every AoE mage in the game? Yeah, you probably could. I don't think it's worth bringing the A4 to the A5. Cyrus would be the one potential exception. When you summon a skeleton fighter now, every time there's a 1 in 4 chance you're also bringing a warrior, so you're getting double minions. I think this is pretty cool. I'm sitting on a bunch of Soulstones, so if I snagged a Cyrus, I would absolutely consider it. For me, I think you have to make the assessment, is this a needle mover? I think for most people, Cyrus is so flipping strong, it doesn't matter. You don't even need this. The A2 is really cool. The pen is really nice, so you're ignoring all resistances, all defenses, all faction team members. I like it. Do I think it's needed? I don't know. I feel like I lean towards no. Summoning an extra skeleton fighter is very cool. Only on deploy, I really don't care. The A4 is whatever, and then upon death or retreat summons a skeleton fighter. This is blech to me. It really is. Unless I'm reading it wrong, to my knowledge, I don't see how it's. You have great uptime on his fighters. I don't see it being that important. Chat is asking me, I'm back to using Boreas. Yes, getting A5 Boreas made me back to using Boreas. An extra 10 seconds on one of the strongest ults in the game, that got me back to Boreas. Nothing else here, guys. You can see I really don't like doing it on many heroes. Even Gon, right? Gon, an awesome hero. He's a good enough tank at A0. We don't need the extra fluff. Here, I love the increased damage to faction team members by 5%. Like, personally, if I picked up a Gon, because I have a reset book, I probably would throw 2 on him just so I could really start cooking with a chaotic team. That is not a normal situation. I think it's not worth it. The A3, this is just going to help him with some crazy damage. You don't need it. He's there to be a sick tank, and he's a sick tank at A0. Then the A5, the Battle Cry is going to gain bonus raid range. So this is the cool stuff that's happening during his ultimate. I don't think you need any of it. Valderon is someone I would skill up. When deployed, gaining 1 stack of Chaotic Vitality. This is very cool, particularly in Arena. For me, it would not be a must. However, I absolutely, if I pulled Valderon, would bring him to A2. Because he's such a beast of a hero on his own, the plus 300 attack is incredible, just because it makes him even more broken. And then the 5% damage just like gone to all the Chaotics. I love it. A3 over here, during Chaotic Vitality, the hero's attack ignores 50% of the target's defense. This is broken. I would take this in a heartbeat. If I pulled Valderon, I'd take him to A3 immediately. The A4, 8% pen. By the time you got this, who cares about 8% pen? You're already destroying everything in your path. The A5 is insanity, right? When you do the Chaotic Annihilation, you get an increase in attack speed by 130 for 5 seconds. You're already flying. If you've got an A5 Valderon, you don't need another 130 attack speed. It's nice. Is it enough of a move leader? Absolutely not. It's a total luxury. It doesn't matter. I will say if I pulled Valderon, I would instantly put 3 Soulstones into him to get this A3. I love his A3. Picking up the A2 along the way is awesome. We already talked about Ardia. I don't think anyone else here is worth mentioning. On to Supreme Arbiters. This is a no-brainer. No one else here except obviously Praetus, and Praetus is instant A3. As you can go, every Soulstone you get should be marching to get your Praetus to A3. It is as powerful as flippin' anything. It is stupid as heck. When basic attacks deal damage to targets inflicted with Radiant Erosion, restores 3% Rage. If you are in a situation where you don't have Radiant Erosion, then maybe you start thinking about that Alistair A1. Just time out the ult. You'll be okay. You can cycle your Praetus well enough. He's broken enough as it is. Put the stones into Praetus. Assuming, I guess in this case, you already had him A1. His A2 is broken good because he's giving himself 5% boost and all faction team members, and he's a faction team member, so he's getting 2 different 5% boosts. And then his A3, when number of Light of Judgments, these are like the little solar light whatever summons he does, when they reach 5, you get an increase in attack by 15%. This is post deployment. The way I build a Praetus, he will have 20 or 21 or 22 or 23,000 attack on him. So getting that 15% boost, let's just say it was 20, I mean, you are completely cooking. That's 3,000 more attack. Praetus to A3 is a must. Valderon to A3 is a must. I think we literally covered everything. If you're feeling absolutely spicy, personally, I wouldn't do it. But getting these A2s on your unnamables, the Ancient Blood increase not just 4% for all allies damage, now it's up to 6%. It's very cool. I will say, if you're really, really into GVG and stuff like that, and even some normal arena PvP, this is very cool to A1, but certainly on IAX, the trigger chance increase on the A3 is excellent. You're getting more slows, you're getting extra damage and stuff. This is very nice if you can snag it. The A5 is cool. By this time, I don't think it's such a necessity. I mean, the damage is cool. Really, if you're getting, I wouldn't put multiple stones to get an IX to A3, but if you are very into PvP content, I think that 10% chance is really, really cool. You're picking up the 1 and 2 along the way, I guess, at that point. But would I put 3 stones into IX to get there? Absolutely not. And finally, you merit. This is nice. The inflicting freeze is very, very strong. It would be a specific situation. Me personally, I would A1 Ymerit. However, this would be completely conditional on testing him out much more thoroughly, using him more content. He reads very well. The damage is very high. But is there a place that he dominates? Is he a Valderon? Is he a Praetus? Is he an Ardia? Is he Silas? Is he a Hex where you can just instantly see how he fits in? For me, no, not yet. The A2 is cool. The A3 here is very nice. 30% chance now for the basic attacks to place Winter's Bite. These stack as slows and eventually become a big freeze. And then on top of that, the Winter's Bite, when there's the duration of Winter's Bite within the talent range, is also increased. It's nice. Do I think it's worth stones? As the content stands in the game right now, I do not think so. I hope that was thorough. I guess this kind of turned into like a little video here. There you go. That is going to be it. Alrighty, folks, thank you so much for watching. I do apologize if I seem sleepy at all. This was in the midst, towards the end actually, of a 24-hour stream. No breaks, nothing. So if I was a little tired, you know why. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know, guys, if it helped. Give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, share with your mother. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.